Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Libra September 2018 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as September goes, the sun will be in Virgo from the 1st until the 22nd. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, attention, focus on limitations, restrictions, those less fortunate than oneself, self-undoing, solitude, seclusion, private matters, and hidden adversaries as well. In some cases, this could be on a mental illness, especially if one actually does have one to begin with, but this could be very isolated, I believe. Now, also, given this is Virgo energy, this could be done with a lot of Virgo pensive, worrisome energy, meticulous attention to detail, but yet very organized, systematic, methodical, and scrupulous manner as well. Excuse me. In some cases, this could shine the light on a Virgo hidden adversary. It could be a Virgo sun, moon, ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Virgo-like characteristics. And again, these, what I want to, getting back to this 12, as far as the 12th house, how these matters might be acted on, could be done also very scrupulous and judgmental, but yet critical, in a very perfunctorily manner as well. So anyway. Next up, as far as September goes, the sun will be in Libra from the 22nd until the 30th. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, attention on the self, the physical body, and the physical body, especially if this is actually the first house in one's natal chart. Self-interest, new beginnings, people from the early childhood, making a first impression, one's outlook on life. And given this is Libra energy, a lot of this could be done with balancing these pros and cons, yet with some ambivalence and indecision, refinement, charm, tact, diplomacy, intellectual sociability, and bouncing ideas off others, perhaps with a lot of justice, and doing these things in an equitable and fair-minded manner. There may be focus on starting some Libra new beginning, such as something connected with the law, perhaps with art, with beauty, so arbitration. So anyway, next thing up is there will be a new moon in Virgo on September 9th, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, in some cases, this could be a new period for maybe worrying about a mental illness, or it could be a new Virgo connection might drive you figuratively crazy. It could be a Virgo sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Virgo-like characteristics. This could be maybe a new connection, a Virgo connection in your private life. Again, it could be a Virgo sun, moon, ascendant person, or one that simply embodies Virgo-like characteristics. This could be a new period of privately extrapolating data in something of a private nature connected with now also doing maybe working vigorously and industriously in solitude and seclusion. It could be a period where you might begin a new period of working hard, perhaps for those that are less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the homeless, the oppressed, the hungry. And also, it could be a time where you might begin to become very analytical regarding limitations and restrictions, or I should say, a time where you just might simply begin to strongly analyze what the limitations and restrictions you have, and maybe working around them, so forth and so on. In some cases, this could be a time where one may embark on a Virgo-like project in solitude or seclusion. It could be something connected with health, nutrition, or some kind of data analysis, something that requires very strong attention to detail, being meticulous with details. And also, too, in some cases, this could be a new Virgo, a hidden adversary at this time, and it could be again a Virgo Sun Moon Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Virgo-like characteristics. So anyway, next thing up. There will be a full moon in Aries on September 24th, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time, where you might become somewhat tired, exasperated, full of maybe a significant other, a grandmother, that might be, or just somebody you have a close relationship or have some kind of strong relationship with that might be overly combative, acrimonious, acerbic. It could be also, sometimes this could signify the end of a very contentious or acrimonious legal battle, or even a marriage in some cases. This could be where a contentious legal situation may come to a culmination or completion, or this could be the end of some kind of situation that was an acerbic situation that may have been with an open enemy or adversary. And another way this could manifest in some cases, this could be the completion of something Aries-like that maybe you collaborated with someone else on. It could have been some kind of training. It could have been something connected with like something Aries-like, such as firefighting, welding, EMT training, for example, or some kind of combative sport. I mean, it could be something like karate or martial arts training. Now, also in some cases, this could be about the revelation or unveiling, though, of an Aries open adversary. It could be an Aries Sun Moon Ascendant person, or one that simply embodies Aries-like characteristics. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, as far as September goes, Mercury will be in Leo from the 1st until the 6th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could be a period where you might simply be a conversation dominator, perhaps with your friends, with acquaintances, with stepchildren, if you do have them. You might find yourself boasting in a conversation with these people as well, and maybe boasting about your what you, in terms of maybe attaining goals and your aspirations and what a bright future you might have, for example. This could also be, too, remember that Mercury, as I've stated previously, not just about communication, it could be about other things as well, such as siblings. Now, in some cases, this could be about Leo siblings that might factor and figure prominently into your goals, your aspirations, your future. They could be Leo Sun Moon Ascendant people, or ones that embody Leo-like characteristics. Another way this could manifest perhaps is thinking creatively in groups and organizations, and talking generously with stepchildren, if applicable, and thinking extravagantly, so to speak, perhaps with the friends, with acquaintances, about various things. So, I mean, Leo energy, of course, there's nothing small about it. It could always be very large, and it could be thinking about very grandiose ideas for your future. So, anyway. Well, the next thing up is Mercury will be in Virgo as far as September goes from the 6th until the 22nd. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. This could be about analytical, detail-oriented communications with an aunt or uncle. It could be another way it can manifest. It could be about maybe a lot of worrisome thinking about possible hidden adversaries, people that might be your friends, that maybe that are actually, they're posing as your friends, for example, that might be actually hidden enemies or enemies in disguise. This could be a lot of judgmental, critical conversations in private. This might be a time where you might become exasperated at slower thinking people in your private life at this time. And also, too, I mean, as I've stated before, Mercury can also be about siblings. It's not, and other things. It's not just about communications. It could be that Virgo siblings might factor in more with your limitations and restrictions than usual, and might simply be driving you figuratively crazy at this time. It could be Virgo Sun Moon Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Virgo-like characteristics. You might find yourself less loquacious and talkative than usual, since we are talking about Mercury and the 12th house. So anyway, next thing up is Mercury will be in Libra as far as September goes from the 22nd until the 30th. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, you might find yourself more loquacious than usual on a first impression. You might be speaking a lot, but with a lot of tact and diplomacy, and articulating things very carefully in order not to hurt someone's feelings. Even if you're disputatious, you probably be wording things very carefully. And also, Mercury and Libra energy can be somewhat mentally lackadaisical as well. At this time, and there might be some instances where, I mean, you might have a lot of new ideas for mental activity going on inside, as far as, like, say, new beginnings, because we're talking about the first house, but it doesn't mean you're going to be acting on them, on all of them. Now, and again, as I've stated before, that Mercury can also be about siblings. It's not just about communications. Now, Libra siblings might factor in and figure prominently in your outlook on life. They could be Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Libra-like characteristics. Now, you might do a lot of conversing, weighing the pros and cons of things with people from your early childhood. It could be talking about being very valuable regarding Libra-like new beginnings, such as something with the law, art, beauty. It could be things with arbitration, doing work as an attorney, a paralegal, something that could be Libra related at this time. So anyway, next thing up, Venus will be in Libra as far as September goes, from the 1st until the 9th. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, you might be looking more attractive than usual on a first impression, especially if this is the actual first house in one's natal chart. If you're unattached Libra, you might connect with a Libra. Love, it could be from your early childhood, or somebody that will be prominent and significant in terms of your new beginnings and your outlook on life. It could be a Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Libra-like characteristics. Also, too, another way this could manifest perhaps is valuing equality, justice, and fairness on that first impression, and maybe even spending, you might be spending more money on Libra-like things for yourself. Could you get a scale perhaps? Well, possibly, but it might be things that are connected could be balancing things, whether it be like your budget, for example, and things that in some cases this could be legal expenses, or maybe things connected. I mean, anything that could be Libra like this could be spent on. It could even be maybe some kind of Libra game, like something like a Law and Order type game, or something that could be anything that might be Libra related. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Venus will be in Scorpio as far as September goes, from the 9th until the 30th. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, this could be about a strong enjoyment of Scorpio-like games with people that you might value or generate money with. It could be a game like a mystery game, or Clue, a CSI, something that could be Scorpio like. And also, too, this could be a time, if you are unattached Libra, that you might connect with a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person. And it might be somebody that could be a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Scorpio characteristics. It could be at the place where you generate money. It could be somebody that you may strongly value, and someone that might figure strongly in your self-esteem and self-worth. Now, also, too, this could be a time where you might simply value some kind of really strong transformation, perhaps, or metamorphosis of your financial, monetary situation. And this is something where, I mean, going back to about connecting with someone if you're unattached. I mean, at this time, since we're talking about Venus and Scorpio, in the second house, a connection that would be superficial would be something that you probably wouldn't put much value in at this time. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Mars will be in Capricorn as far as September goes, from the 1st until the 10th. So the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you might be showing a lot of consistent and disciplined energy in your home and your family life. The situation with home and family members, people you're close at home with, might be more contentious and acrimonious than usual. There may be arguments with these people over responsibilities, maybe authority. It could be government, politics. And it could be a time where you might be becoming somewhat incensed or angry with who you may be at the core. But on the positive side, this can manifest perhaps in a lot of regimented energy, putting into traditions and getting prepared for that latter part of life if you are not already in it. So anyway, and also too, I mean, this could be a time where if you're not seeing anybody at this time, you're not involved with anybody, Libra, you might be getting involved in a sexual sexual connection with somebody that might be a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply one that embodies Capricorn-like characteristics. It could be someone that is introduced to you by a family member, or it could be someone that you just simply feel close at home with. So anyway, next thing up. Mars will be in Aquarius as far as September goes, from the 10th until the 30th. So the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, the situation with children, romantic partners might be more contentious and acrimonious than usual. You might be angry perhaps at their some kind of idiosyncratic, bizarre, unusual behavior by these people. Also, too, it might be over some kind of rebellious energy as well. But at the same time, on a positive end, this could be a time where you might inject a lot of selfless and humanitarian energy into things for lovers, into things for children at this time. But also, there could be a lot of spontaneous and unpredictable energy going into things of a speculative nature and gambling. So this is a time to be wary about this, Libra. And also, too, another thing is that you could also be at this time be putting a lot of energy perhaps into Aquarius-like things such as innovation, astrology, computers, aerospace, electronics. It could be something that you truly strongly enjoy and something that might be tied in with a hobby of yours. So anyway, next thing up. Jupiter will be in Scorpio still, so the 2nd house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time for Libra. This could manifest perhaps in a lot of luck and fortune in making a transformation or major change with your income, how you generate money. Also, too, this could be very fortuitous for going beyond the superficial and subterfuge regarding things of a monetary nature. And it's also could be very good. I mean, at a time where you might be unveiling some mystery regarding some kind of lost possession or item or resource or something just of a monetary nature. And also, too, it could be a time, too, where you put a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm in really maybe making a major change or transformation in terms of your self-esteem and self-worth, and also a profound philosophy, perhaps a deep philosophy regarding one's self-esteem and self-worth, and things that are connected with possessions, such as maybe not allowing possessions to possess you. For example, I mean, it may be good to have a lot of possessions as an example, but not to let them dominate or control your life as an example. So anyway, next thing up, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, this could be a period for you, Libra, where you might be dealing with a lot of limitations and restrictions regarding your home and family life. You might find yourself taking care of a debilitated or sickly home or family member at this time, or someone you simply feel close at home with. It could be something Capricorn related, such as something with the knees or the bones or the joints, and it might be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy. And you might find yourself doing a lot of laborious, consistent work at home at this time, and also a lot of responsibilities at home. And also perhaps responsibilities connected with traditions at this time, and maybe giving maybe some structure maybe to perhaps your foundations at this time as well, and in discipline in that matter as well. So anyway, and also too, I mean, it could be a period where you, I mean, like as I stated, you might be inundated with responsibilities on the home front and to family members at this time. And anyway, the next thing up is Uranus will still be in Taurus, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, this could be a period where in some cases Taurus friendships may play a very strong role in making a major transformation in terms of giving you emotional, moral, even monetary support. They could be Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Taurus-like characteristics. You might find some unusual activity going around with your credit card at this time. This could be where maybe emotional and moral support may be somewhat erratic and sporadic in this period. And also, too, I mean, Uranus can be about what's unpredictable. You might wind up getting an unanticipated tax break, or maybe some unanticipated tax debt may be owed. A lot of this, of course, can be dependent on, I believe, the aspects that Uranus is making to other points in your natal chart. If it's making, say, a sextile or trine to your natal Jupiter, it could actually be maybe some unanticipated tax break or some kind of unanticipated monetary support you might receive, because this could be beneficial. But if it's the other way, and say that this transit Uranus is making an adverse aspect to your natal Jupiter, then it could be the other way around, and it could be maybe you encounter some kind of strong loss of some kind of monetary support, or maybe you might have something that might be owed to some creditor, or some kind of taxes that you didn't originally anticipate. So anyway, next thing up. Well, Neptune will be in Pisces still, so the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, in some cases, this could be about the dissipation, dissolving of one's health. Health matters may be somewhat nebulous and unclear at this time. There might be something that might happen work-related that can be, some cases, an accidental chemical assimilation, or just simply, or really could be anywhere, because the 6th house is about health. Now, some cases, this could be like a chemical spill at work that could take place, or it could be some kind of slipping on some chemical at work that could cause an accident, especially if this is making an adverse aspect to your natal Mars. Let's also, too, people in your daily routine might be somewhat nebulous and unclear at this time. And it could also be about the way this could pan out is that you may be doing some kind of work that might be Neptune-like. It could be something connected with the feet, or dancing, or poetry, the metaphysical, which can include astrology, chemistry work, doing some kind of pharmaceutical work as well. But you also might be dealing with a lot of chaos and confusion in your daily routine. Sometimes this could be the disappearance of a pet, or maybe even an aunt or an uncle. Hold on a second, people. Us Cancers need to keep replenishing water, I guess, our bodies with water. But anyway, sorry about that. Next thing up. Well, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. This could, in some cases, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to do it anyway. In some cases, this could be the actual death of a of a family member. It could be the less dominant parent, which is often the mother, someone you feel close at home with. Other times, this could manifest perhaps in upheavals and power struggles on the home front. You might find yourself digging deep into your roots, ancestry, finding out about traditions at this time. But be careful not to maybe become overly obsessive or even compulsive, or have those issues like that, perhaps with home and family members at this time, or activities around the home. This could be a time where it could be about a lot of transformation of the home. It could be where you might be doing some remodeling, some renovation. Some cases, this could be about the destruction and obliteration of foundations and even traditions. But remember, when Pluto can be about obliteration, destruction, but it's also about rebirth and regeneration. So it could supplant these things with something else at another point in time. And you might see that a family member might be acting somewhat manipulative at this time as well. So just be careful as far as that goes. In some cases, though isolated, this could also manifest in some kind of actual literal destruction of a home, such as something through whether it could be a tornado or a fire or what have you. So anyway, next thing up, the North Node will still be in Leo, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you could be, when the North Node is in transit, this could manifest in having to confront or address certain issues. And given that this is Leo and the 11th house is emphasized, this could be about having to confront maybe a bombastic, arrogant, domineering, overbearing friend and acquaintance. It could be a stepchild if applicable. Also about approaching, you might be directed toward approaching your goals and aspirations with a lot of self-assuredness, confidence, courage, and fortitude at this time. And also, you might feel like you're guided toward perhaps being a little bit more generous and even extravagant with matters connected with friends, with acquaintances at this time as well, and being more extroverted perhaps in matters with groups, clubs, and organizations as well at this time. Anyway, next thing up is the Black Moon Lilith will still be in Aquarius, so the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. This could manifest perhaps in, this could be about emergence, if you will, of a very, it could be implacable Aquarius adversary. It could be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius-like characteristics. It could be somebody that might have been some kind of former lover, or it could be in the form of a child, or somebody that maybe you might have shared some kind of amusement or some kind of creative endeavor or hobby with. Some cases too, this could manifest perhaps in maybe somebody causing some kind of chaos in your perhaps in your love life, perhaps, or maybe a situation with a child you have. Also too, when we're talking about the Black Moon Lilith, this could be about what could put one in a strong state of fright or trepidation. And it could be about maybe you could be in a strong fear perhaps of having an overly monotonous, conventional, or orthodox type love life. Maybe relinquishing or losing an Aquarius-like hobby could be another fear, something that could be, for example, astrology, or something with model rocketry, something with computers, electronics, and even, or it could be just something like unusual, like something with a rocket jetpack, for example, and that could put you in that strong state of fear, trepidation. Remember, Black Moon Lilith, though, could also be about the unveiling or revelation of something that comes out that you didn't want to come out of the bag, so to speak, but it does come out anyway. And this could be about maybe an unusual, maybe a love situation you may be involved with, or an unusual hobby that might come out, or even some kind of odd, some kind of gambling maybe problem that you might be involved with, or something of some kind of speculative nature that might have been somewhat unusual that you got yourself mixed up with, or was something Aquarius-like of a speculative nature that you didn't want anyone to know about, that you may have invested in, for example, but maybe you just for whatever reason you didn't want anybody to know about it, but it does come out of the bag, so to speak. So anyway, last but not least, well, actually, no, not last but not least. Next to last but not least, Chiron will be in Aries as far as September goes, from the 1st until the 26th. So the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, Chiron could be about emotional wounds and suffering. And this could be about dealing with some emotional suffering and wounds connected perhaps with lack of enterprise and initiative over legal matters. Maybe about confronting an open adversary or enemy, perhaps maybe about not trying to mend fences, so to speak, or aggressively, assertively, maybe go as far as going, maybe having a reconciliation. Also, maybe dealing with very combative and volatile open adversaries and contentious court situations in some cases. Now, Chiron in Aries could be about unworthiness. Now, it could be where maybe you feel, in some cases, if you're unattached, maybe especially unattached, maybe you're unworthy of having a significant other or a marriage partner, or even your connection with the grandmother, or even just having a relationship in general, or a strong friendship maybe with somebody and having an important relationship. But at the same time, given that Chiron is the wounded healer, in the ways that you might be struggling and suffering in connection with Chiron and Aries and in the 7th house energy, you could help others deal with comparable situations and do so with a lot of Aries-like fortitude, courage, assertiveness, and aggressiveness. So anyway, now last but not least, Chiron will be in Pisces as far as September goes, from the 26th until the 30th. So the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. This could be about maybe going through some kind of emotional, maybe some suffering and some wounds, and maybe in connection. It could be over. It could actually be over an actual like a health situation. Actually, it could be over maybe some confounding health situation. It could be something Pisces related, such as something with the feet or the toes, or something with the lymphatic system. And also maybe dealing with deceptive and duplicitous fellow employees, or maybe people involved in your daily routine or prominent in your health life. It could be dealing with an aunt or an uncle. In some cases, that could be an alcoholic or involved with drugs, or maybe those people that are in the 6th house, like people that might be somewhat nebulous and unclear. And also, too, at the same time, I mean, given that Chiron is the wounded healer, just remember that in areas that you might be having difficulty and sorrow and dealing with some kind of emotional suffering or what have you, in connection with Chiron in Pisces and the 6th house, you could help others out with comparable situations, and do so with a lot of Pisces like empathy, compassion, self-sacrifice, and even idealism. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Libra September 2018 horoscope forecast. Stay tuned next time, where I am going to be giving you my take on the August 26, 2018 full moon in Pisces. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person astrologically speaking based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.